I want to tell the story now of a man, a really quite inspirational character, I think. One of those who led the movement in this country to create the basic conditions of civilized human life. He was a Bradford man, he was a mill owner, and his name, rather wonderfully, was Titus Salt.
Salt, the son of a wool merchant, had gone into business in 1829, making worsted cloth from the fleece of alpacas, a kind of Peruvian llama, and he prospered. By the late 1840s, he owned 5 mills. He was the major employer in Bradford. In today's terms, he was a multimillionaire.
The trouble was, Salt could see all too clearly the connection between his prosperity and the suffering of others. Bradford in those days was notorious as the most polluted of the northern mill towns. A yellow smog suffocated the city, causing dreadful bronchial and pneumatic problems. Life expectancy was the lowest in the country. 7 out of 10 of the children of workers' families in Bradford died before they were 16. And Titus Salt surveyed this grim reality, and he resolved to do something about it.
At his own expense, Salt installed a new kind of boiler in his mills that cut pollution to a minimum. Delighted with the result, he went to all the other mill owners in Bradford and urged them for the common good to do the same. But they refused. The common good be damned, the boilers would cost too much, and they returned to the worship of the great god, Profit.
I think Titus Salt was profoundly shocked by the behaviour of the Bradford mill owners. And this experience of society out of joint, it changed the direction of his life. He sold his mills in Bradford, he pulled his entire fortune out of the city, he bought a larger plot of land further north on the banks of the River Aire, and there he set to work, building not just a factory, but an entire industrial community, village and all, to house his 4,500 employees. It's the most extraordinary place. Saltaire, it's called. He named it after himself. Terrace after terrace of tidy, solid workers' houses, all arranged on a grid, with the streets all named after members of Salt's own family. And in this perfectly controlled environment, with all the power of an old-fashioned lord of the manor, Salt was able to play out a fantasy almost, a vision, his vision of a perfect human society.